Happy Mola Monday everybody, and welcome to this week's Hall of Trials video. This week we'll be tackling Nilgal. Nilgal has a pretty high Dagger Sicar threshold. We need to score 10 million points to get both Dagger Sicars knocked out, and this isn't the easiest week to do it. But I'm going to give you a couple of different options that should let you get to that threshold as long as you have the units and gear necessary. The tricks this week, first of all, they're shutting down our girl Kitty Clarissa and Camilla. Any warrior on the team takes 50% more damage, and units that need extra turns, like Kitty Clarissa and Camilla, don't get those extra turns. We get a 75% boost from a target buff, which makes Rangers kind of a must, and Rangers actually get a 30% boost to tankiness as well as attack. Now, even though it's 30% boost to attack, there just aren't really a lot of good damage Rangers, at least not ones that can out-damage Milim. So I'm going to run her in this team. First, we're going to run Lilius. Lilius is important because she packs dual attacks, and also because she has a cleanse on her S3, and that cleanse is important because Nilgal spams heal blocks and poisons and can detonate the poisons. I put a damage artifact on her, one that gave a little effectiveness boost. Next is my Milim, one of my best rage sets with Torrent if you've got it. If you don't have Torrent, go Crit Chance, it'll work just fine. I ran Cruel Mischief on her for 30% extra damage. If you take a look at Caladra, it also does 30% extra damage when there's a debuff present, and debuffs will usually be present, so run whichever one of these artifacts you have leveled higher. And Command Model Laika is going to be my source of healing because she is about the only ranger that has a target in her kit. Her S2 skill is a dual attack with a target debuff so that I can run her on Bloodstone for extra healing. I put her on the S1 EE to help push up Milim because I do want to cycle Milim's skills as fast as possible to make Dragon Busters go off more often. Now, if you don't have Milim, I know the slime rerun hasn't happened and quite likely isn't going to happen. You can use Landy in Milim's place. I have a clip at the end of the video with her on the same gear, and it works not as well, but close enough. Now, at the start of the fight, you get poisons stacked onto you unless you're very lucky with 15%, so we'll use Lilius to cleanse that. So we S1 Milim to do some damage. Now, Milim's only got one bar on her ultimate, so I'm going to stall a little bit by S1ing these eggs. I want to get a Milim a little bit closer so we can use Dragon Buster early inside the break phase, and ideally get 2 Dragon Busters off. Laika's S3 is excellent, especially in the transition phase, because it puts those eggs to sleep. And you can't wake the eggs up by hitting them because they have gold shields, and you've got to do damage to wake things up. So now I'm just hitting the eggs to stall and buy some time. Now I'll go ahead and push phase. Laika is going to go next. You want to make sure Laika is the first unit to go inside of the break phase, and Milim's got a decent number of stacks towards Dragon Buster. In fact, she just needs one more hit to pop off Dragon Buster. And there it is. That's a good solid start. Now I can use her S3 to get 2 more stacks towards her next Dragon Buster attack. The Bloodstone on Laika heals everybody up. Now I'm just looking for good RNG. Didn't go with Laika, but that's okay. I think I'm still good. As long as I get 1 or 2 dual attacks off Laika, we should be, or off of Milim, we should be fine.
Let's just get this over with. Answer my call.
1 more hit. And this will proc the Dragon Buster a second time, and that's the goal, to get Dragon Buster off twice inside of the break phase, and to have target up the entire time. So that's 5 million points exiting phase 1. Anything over 4 million should complete the Dagger Sicar for this. Lilius can cleanse the poisons and, more importantly, the heal block off of everybody. Laika's S3 will put the egg sacs to sleep, hopefully, and since it hits everybody, it should be a very strong heal for whoever is hurt the most. Now, you don't want to use Lilius's S2, because remember, non-attack skills reduce Nilgal's cooldown and push him closer to doing his ultimate. So we don't ever use Lilius's barrier, and we don't use Lyca's S2 outside of the break phases.
Gather together.
It takes a lot of courage to challenge me.
Okay, so that gets us right up against the phase, and the timing is perfect. Lyca's going to go next, so that pushes phase, and my Dragon Buster's ready as long as the target sticks. It does, and that sets off my first Dragon Buster. Couldn't have asked for a better setup.
I'll start.
There's no reason to S3. The S1 gives me a chance for dual attacks. Good, it went with Milim. Anytime you get a chance to use her S3, I recommend it. It does really good damage, 700k. And it adds 2 stacks towards her Dragon Buster.
Try me. Attack.
So you got a 50-50 shot here of going with Milim or Lyca, which is kind of why you want to put damage gear on your Lyca in case it goes with the wrong unit. But there is a little bit of RNG to getting the super high score with hoping that Lilius procs with Milim, and so far she's proc with Milim every single time, and it's resulting in a very high score.
I'll start. Attack.
Wow, every time. So there's Dagger Sicar, that's 10.5 million. And unfortunately I didn't get my last hit, so I got cheated out of my last Dragon Buster. Using her S3 mostly to try to put those eggs to sleep. I didn't get either of them. But Lilius will cleanse the debuffs, most importantly the heal block, and that will let me start healing again.
Alright. Try me.
I would really like to S2 here for the shield, but I don't want to push Nilgal closer to his ultimate, so I'm just going to try to rush this down. If Lilius dies, I think Lyca and Milim can clear it by themselves. You know what? Even though it's a non-attack skill, if I get the target debuff, it'll be worth it. I did not get the target debuff, so that was kind of a waste. But I think we're gonna be fine. This S3 will probably kill or take it really close. One more hit and I get a Dragon Buster off.
I'll start. This way.
Nice. There's full clear. So this was a pretty stable team. I ran this maybe 3 times just because I got annoyed when Lilius kept dual attacking with Lyca. And this run went very, very well. The dual attacks with Milim almost every single time is really what gave me such a high score. So 12.5 million, 2.5 million above Dagger Sicar threshold. So your gear can be a little bit lower as long as your luck is on point. Now if you don't have Milim, you can run Landy. All I did for this team is take Milim's gear off and put it straight onto Landy. Same artifact, same gear, everything. And it still got me to the 10 million point threshold. It was a little faster, a little bit cleaner and easier, but a little lower scoring because no Dragon Buster. I ran this team a 3rd time with Landy, and in the 4th spot I put Commander Pavel, and it scored very similar to this score as well if you want to look for a 4-unit option. Do be aware that Commander Pavel's S2 brings an element of randomness to the fight. It kept going off when I didn't want it to, and pushed phase when it wasn't optimal, so though he brings more damage to the team, his presence can make it a little bit more difficult to control the tempo of the fight. Also, his S1 skill hits a lot harder than his S3 skill, so during the break phases only uses S1. So that's the Hall of Trials guide for this week. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope it helps you get your Dagger Sicar knocked out. If you can't pull off Dagger Sicar this rotation, don't sweat it too much. This is a relatively difficult rotation. There are a lot easier formats for Nilgal, so if you're struggling, maybe put it off until next time and just enjoy a triple S plus score. If you have any questions, ask them in the comments section. and I will be working on other guides throughout the week, so don't forget to like and hit that subscribe button. Have a great one, everybody.